Well, today is MGTOW Monday, guys, and I guess today I'll talk about keeping yourself like up to date, basically taking care of yourselves. Really, um, I noticed that a lot of dudes, and it might just be in my area, dude. It might be, but a lot of dudes in my area are just not really keeping themselves together, and I mean like in a like as in hygiene too, but more so like mentally, Um, given the circumstances that we're in, still, granted, it's a lot better now than it was a year ago, with the bug and everything. Um, I just I just see that all these job openings are there and right for the taking, and nobody really wants to take it. And I think it's that mentality that a lot of guys just don't want to work because they're depending on the government. Um, I'm just, it kind of, I never in my life would thought I would think that I would see something, like this. And I'm certain it's like to you guys as well, like it's the same thing. And it's just, it's some uncanny phenomenon, man. I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it, but I mean, I think people are just relying too much on the government giving them money, and that's not a bad thing. But when you're not doing anything and you're just solely relying on the government for money, how can that be, an existence worth living? Always being dependent on other people. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we need a person, to come in our lives. Sometimes we do. Most of the time we don't. But under certain circumstances, we'll need somebody to depend on. Only for a temporary amount of time. That can be with a death of a friend, a family member, um, hell, maybe even helping to raise, kids and all that. It just things are not always black and white, man. There's always going to be gray. There's always going to be a gray in the middle. And I think that's I think that gray in the middle is like a test of our character, of who we are, to see how we will react to certain like circumstances and all. Um, but I'm just seeing a lot of men lately being in this state of mind where they think they're always gonna need somebody, as in like a partner, or or just really just depend on just to depend on, really, instead of actual growth and being by themselves and learning about themselves and uh growing that way. I know I just repeated that, but I mean like maturing. Don't get me wrong, guys. I have flaws just like everyone else. I'm not making myself out to be like this, this person who's so perfect and blah 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 blah. No, I acknowledge that I am a flawed person. Granted, um I'm not deeply flawed like other individuals, but I do have some flaws, and I do reflect upon time to time about how to get rid of those. Really, it's hard. It's hard to work on yourself. And that's the point. I think that also adds to this mentality that most men have, that we're afraid to work on ourselves because we're so used to this comfort, this suffocating comfort that is going to ruin our lives one day if we do not grow and mature. Now, that could be a number of things, but we are creatures of habit, and we need to break the habit. Because if we don't break the habit, that's how, addictions kick in. Now, granted, there are some addictions that are okay, like exercising. Exercising, people can become addicted to exercising. Now, whether they grow too hard, everything has a consequence, man. If athlete goes too hard, they might injure themselves. You just gotta pace yourself, man. You gotta find what is the right length and everything. Can't just always work yourself to the bone, because if you do that, that's not even really living. That's life living you instead of the other way around. And I understand that some people don't have the luxury of doing that. I understand that. But maybe give yourself a plan. Try to make yourself a plan. Try to meet a goal. Then when you meet that goal, set in more goals. 1 step at a time, 2 steps, 3 steps, and so on. You might trip and fall along the way, but you pick yourself back up. Because it's better than just laying down and just saying, well, I guess I'll die here. Always keep trying. I think that plays into a part of anxiety as well for some people. That people have this anxiety when they're pushing themselves, forced to push themselves, when they're learning the ropes, something totally new to them that they can't grasp as a concept yet. Because even though they do it over and over again, they will just use the excuse of having anxiety. And I'm not saying that, if you have anxiety, you're you're a punk or anything. No, I'm not saying that. It's just that there's some people that are claiming they have anxiety, and there's different levels of anxiety from what I noticed. Some more severe than others. But we just need to get out of that habit, man. We need to get out of our comfort. We gotta push ourselves. Don't do nothing dangerous now. I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating for you to do dangerous stuff. Be safe, you want to stay healthy, you want to stay alive as long as you can. That's the point right there. But push yourself into something that would be good for you, that would have an excellent outcome of having a better chance in life. Sure, it may be hard today, tomorrow, a few weeks, a month, maybe even a year. But once it's done, once it's finished, you will just look back at it and you'll see that you have learned a lot of things. And those things that you have learned has been put into use to help accelerate your way of living to your what your goals are. I think that'll be it, guys. I thought I'd try to, say something inspirational, get help for those to help, get them out of the mud, get themselves back up, have that self-confidence, because we do need self-confidence. I think that's a great part of motivation right there. Having that self-confidence. Not prideful, not too prideful. That's how you fall if you get cocky. But just be humble. Take pride in what you do and use it as a way to save yourself if you find yourself in I don't know, in the mud, I guess. But all right, I'm not gonna take up too much of you guys' time. Thanks for listening.